Well, hello there. So, I'm going to be doing kind of like a series, I guess, of what I'm about to talk about, because it's kind of a lot. So, welcome to Addiction Does Not Discriminate, Part 1. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of people have a misconception of addicts. There's all sorts of different addicts. There's drug addicts, but there's many different drugs, of course. So there's pills, and there's many different types of pills. You know, there's opiates, there's barbiturates, there's just all sorts of different things that people can become addicted to. There is food addicts. There is people that go to the gym addicts, they're literally addicted to going to the gym. So and there's anorexia, bulimia, there's all sorts of different addictions. There is an addiction to your own feelings. If you're constantly miserable, that is what your body knows, so that's what you're going to be. You feed off of your own negative energy. But for right now, I'm going to talk about drugs and alcohol because that's what I know, because that's what I was addicted to. So, let's talk about that. So, as many of you know, I'm sure all of you know by now, and if not, well, now you know. I used to drink, a lot. All the time for about 11 years. And I was also addicted to my prescription painkillers and anxiety medication. So, that's a whole topic, right, that I want to go through over the course of this series. But I got into recovery, and here I am today. Yay! Yay! So basically, I want to touch base today on the misconceptions of addiction. Because when somebody says, oh, well, this person's an addict. Okay, well, first of all, what were they addicted to? How did they become addicted to it? Have they made choices in their life that have gotten themselves better? There's a lot of different things. So before you go just saying someone is an addict and telling people that, you probably should get their backstory a bit, right? Because anybody can be an addict. Your next door neighbor, your mother, your father, your child, your brother, your sister, anybody can be an addict. Addiction does not discriminate. And it's not always necessarily on how you're brought up. It's not always necessarily where you live, what kind of friends you had. Yes, all of those things play a huge part in it. But, again, there's many different types of addictions. So, yes, I'm an addict. And I say that openly and freely because I'm an open book, and if anyone wants to judge me, that's fine. You can. I'm okay with that. But I don't like it when people just assume, what I was addicted to or what drugs I've done. Because there's a lot of drugs that I've never done. I've never tried LSD. I've never shot heroin. So those are the two main things that I've never done or tried. Did I ever consider trying those things in my life? Yes, I have, and I admit that. I am glad that I didn't. But anyway, so first of all, I'm grateful for all of the friends that I have and the support that I have had over the last almost 5 years going through this recovery process. Because we do not heal in isolation, but in community. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that has stuck by my side. And even when I was addicted to alcohol and my painkillers and my anxiety meds, I wasn't ever not me, if that makes sense. Like, I was still always me, like the same person that I am now. Yeah, sure. Oh, there were plenty of times when I was real drunk on vodka and I was not a very nice person. Usually, I was mean and nasty to people that had angered me earlier that week or earlier that day, or, you know, something like that, because I am a nice person and I don't want to ever hurt people's feelings, and I never really knew how to tell somebody something that was bothering me. So I would get drunk in order to do so, and of course it wouldn't come out, you know, the nicest way, and then I would have to apologize because naturally I felt bad for being mean. But did I get my point across? Yes. So, I don't know. But, so that's just, you know, I'm kind of at a loss for words today. But I've never not been me. I've always been Maria. I've always been the girl that whenever you needed something, I'm there to help you. Always been, you know, a people pleaser and would do anything for anybody. Always been the one to donate to any cause. You know, always very empathetic, compassionate, always a great work ethic. I never missed work due to a hangover or anything like that. I mean, shoot, there were even times I went to work and I was still drunk from the night before. So, you know, I was still always me, this driven girl who, you know, didn't want to disappoint anybody, even though I was a disappointment because, you know, my family could see that I was an alcoholic and I didn't want to admit that to myself. But I still, you know, I went to school, I went to UAlbany, you know, I worked multiple jobs and I did the best I could while still partying. Like, I thought that partying was normal. And it wasn't. So, that's just one thing I wanted to talk about today. Not everybody who is an addict is whatever you think of in your head. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say. And it's really hard to put into words. But, and I don't want people, you know, I mean, like I said, if you want to judge me, that's fine. Like, but I think it would be unfair to do so. I never stole anything from anybody while I was, you know, in my midst of alcoholism. You know, I didn't do things like that. And because that's just the personality that I have. Now, had I been had a different personality, then maybe I would have. But it's not in my nature to do those things. I never cheated anybody. I never, you know what I mean? Everything was always fair. I could give some examples, but, you know, I don't want to incriminate myself. But I just want to bring that up. Not everybody is the way you perceive them when you hear that they've been addicted to something. And like I said, you should get their backstory first. And that is what I'm going to talk about next, in my next video. But I just kind of wanted to touch base on this for today. But that's all I have to say right now. And maybe tomorrow I will talk about my backstory in part 2. So, bye.